My dear students, how are you? Hope all of you are fit and fine. In this video, I have brought an easy, scientific, and simple method of studying science. This method of studying has 5 steps. Step number 1, read the textbook and jot down important points and important equations. Step number 2, make a summary of important points and equations in the form of a table. Step number 3, remember the number of columns, important points, and equations under each heading. Fourth step is remember the whole table by practice. Fifth step is repeat the process of remembering by scribbling on a piece of paper. The whole table has to be done whenever you feel like studying or whenever you are relaxed. Keep repeating the process by recalling mentally till your exam date so that you will become totally perfect with this particular chapter. So following this step, what is the benefit? What is the benefit that the student will get? First thing is you will gain confidence and then you can study in a relaxed manner at your own pace. And the whole working of the system is very easy. And because of that, you can repeat more number of times so that it will be better for you to learn, understand, and keep the points in your mind. You have the whole chapter in your mind. After completing this method, the whole chapter will be in your mind according to your textbook. And you know that most of the questions in the board exam come from the textbook. So your scores will be much better. And if you seriously work, you are bound to get 90 plus marks. After reading the textbook thoroughly, we can make a list of important points and equations. And you can present it in the form of a summary or in the table form as I have done here. So we have 5, 6, 5, and 2 important points under each heading. And the number of equation is in introduction, there is no important equations, whereas in chemical equation, there are 5. And in types of chemical equation, there are 18 equations. And in oxidation introduction in our everyday life, there are nil equations. This is illustration of list of important points under the heading Introduction. And as you see, you can see there are 5 different points. You have to learn all these things in future to make the summary of the chapter. So we have list of important points under the heading Chemical Equation. One is general and the other is how to write a chemical equation and balanced equation, which has 7 different points under that, 7 different steps. Here, the number of steps in balancing the equation is continued. Step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6. And this is 7 step for balancing the equation. Then we can also tell about the state of the reactants and the product. That is also a very important point which we have to remember. So with the example, it is illustrated here. Then about the physical state, how exactly you can tell the physical state of the reactants and the product. That is very important. And then what are the conditions of the reaction, like temperature, pressure, catalyst, how to indicate that using this small letters. So you have to remember this. This is the list of equations as given in the textbook, which covers the whole column under the column of chemical reaction. What are the important equation? That is what you have to remember. In this types of chemical reactions, say basically every reaction is nothing but breaking and making bonds between atoms and they produce new substance. Based on this fact, we have different reactions. The first one is combination reaction. To understand more about combination reaction, there are so many examples, and you have to go through all the examples and learn all the examples with the chemical equations. The next type of chemical reaction is decomposition. Here, the reaction in which single reactant breaks down to give simpler products is what is called as decomposition. And these are the examples. Please learn all the equations and how exactly the things happen. You can understand by this point. So this is one of the important. The next one is displacement reaction, where one of the reactants, which is a compound, is split and it is displaced. Like here, iron and copper sulfate reacts to give ferrous sulfate. The sulfate part is getting attached to iron, and copper is left as a coating on this iron nail. So here this is called as the displacement reaction where the thing is displaced, copper is displaced. The next type of reaction is double displacement reaction. So a reaction that produces precipitate is called as precipitation reaction, like this is one of the example. And the reaction, there is an exchange of ions between the reactants, and it is called as double displacement. Here, actually, you can take two parts, this Na part and SO4. This will be plus ion and this will be minus ion. Here, Ba and Cl2, this will be plus and this will be minus. So actually, see here, this is getting exchanged. Pa is getting attached with SO4 and Na is attaching Cl part. So it is something in general, if I want to say, I'll call this as A, this as B, this as C, and this as D. So finally what happens, AD and BC will be the products. Such type of reactions are called as double displacement reaction. Please learn these points so that it will be helpful for you to make the summary. And then we have oxidation and reduction reaction. So in this reaction, it is very simple. Addition of oxygen is called as oxidation. You please go through the textbook thoroughly and you can understand. And this is a typical example for oxidation. And simultaneously, we can also say that if hydrogen gas is passed over heated copper or this thing, so we are adding hydrogen here. So this will take away this oxygen part. This is called as reduction reaction. These are the related examples as listed in the textbook. Please learn all these equations. This is explanation, whatever I said previously. Oxygen in the reaction is said to be oxidized if the substance loses oxygen during the reaction, and it is also said to be reduced. In a reaction, if the oxygen is lost and hydrogen is gained, then it is called as oxidation. So reduction reaction and oxygen and oxidation both put together, we can simply call it as redox reaction. So this is the example. You please follow all these examples. And there are this reduction reaction here. Reduction is also happening and oxidation is also happening. So it is a reduction, it is a redox reaction. These are the related examples, equations of the examples. You have to please learn all these things. So in this column, we have around 18 important equations. Please balance all the equation and learn them properly as given in the textbook. This is very important to learn and remember. The fourth column tells about the effect of oxidation reaction in our everyday life. That is, fourth column I refer to in the summary table which we have prepared. Here, the main thing what is discussed is about corrosion or rusting. So, corrosion is about all different materials, metals like copper, silver, and all those things, which are attacked by moisture and acids. So the effect is called as corrosion, whereas rusting refers to the reddish brown powder coating which is formed on iron when it is exposed to atmosphere or moist atmosphere. So rancidity is also one of the effect of oxidation reaction. So to prevent that, we add antioxidants to foods which contain fats and oil, and also we try to keep the food which contains oil and fats in tight containers. And you would have observed that the chip packets is filled with nitrogen gas, and that's why it looks like a balloon. So this helps in preventing oxidation of chips. Draw this table multiple number of times in a day till you get the number of headings, number of important points under each head. After that, go to the details of the points under each heading. Learn all the points under each heading thoroughly so that you can recall these points closing your eyes. Follow step 3 for all the headings. Practice the table by scribbling it a number of times on a rough paper. Similarly, you can list equations. Please remember the number of equations first and then write and practice each of them properly. Start following this method immediately without skipping any steps and in the same order. Fastest learner can learn this chapter in 1 hour. You can also learn this chapter almost at the same time. Learn all the chapters in the same way each day and complete the whole textbook in a week or maybe even earlier than that. Once you have learned the whole book, you can draw the table of each chapter daily and learn and practice it every day. You need to remember the whole textbook like this at least once a day. When you have the whole contents of your textbook in your memory, tell me who will stop you from not getting good marks? Follow this method to learn the whole science textbook and become master in science subject. I'm coming I'm coming up with videos for all the other chapters in future. Keep watching, follow, like and subscribe. Please press the bell icon. This is the part of encouragement for my work. Thank you and good luck for your board exams.